We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Ukraine strikes Russia. Cory Bush throws a tantrum. The economy stays on a roller coaster ride, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Ukraine launched an armored incursion into Russia's lightly defended Kursk region in a surprise move early Tuesday that caused panic among civilians and forced Moscow to rush in additional troops. Russia evacuated villages near the border as hundreds of Ukrainian troops pressed forward in fast-moving armored vehicles, according to Russian officials. Russia deployed army units, border guards, and warplanes to counter Ukrainian units and said Wednesday it had halted Ukrainian forces. Russian war bloggers close to the Russian military said Ukraine seized several villages and advanced several miles in two directions. Ukrainian officials didn't comment, but analysts said the move looked like a more serious incursion than previous cross-border raids in other areas, which were carried out by lightly armed commandos who withdrew after a few days. Hunter Biden is in the hot seat again. Prosecutors in Special Counsel David Weiss's office are accusing Hunter Biden of accepting payments from a Romanian businessman who is attempting to influence U.S. government agencies while his father, Joe Biden, was vice president. If true, the allegations would mark the closest prosecutors have come to tying President Joe Biden to his son's overseas business endeavors, a matter congressional Republicans have spent years scrutinizing. The special counsel's claim in a court filing Wednesday in the younger Biden's federal tax case stems from Hunter Biden's work on behalf of Gabriel Popoviciu, a wealthy Romanian who prosecutors say hired the president's son for legal work in late 2015. Following in the footsteps of fellow squad member Jamal Bowman, Representative Cory Bush of Missouri used her concession speech this week to throw a temper tantrum and threaten those who worked against her to be afraid. Bush, who lost her primary election to a pro-Israel Democratic rival, financially backed by the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, warned that the group's influence on the election has radicalized her. Bush called out AIPAC in her concession speech. "All they did is radicalize me, so they need to be afraid," she said. Bush, a controversial lawmaker who already was known as one of the most radical lawmakers in Washington, lost her primary when Democratic voters nominated St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell for the seat that represents St. Louis City and part of St. Louis County. The economy is staying on its roller coaster ride as economists debate whether or not we are heading into a recession. Stocks weren't ready to call it a comeback yet. Early on Wednesday, it looked like Tuesday's recovery from Monday's big fall could keep on rolling, but stocks dipped by the time the bell rang. Tech companies, including Nvidia, fell. Consumer spending is dropping based on earnings from McDonald's, Yum Brands, Amazon, Etsy, and Wayfair, all of whom reported lower revenues. Mortgage rates came down slightly. The 30-year fixed mortgage fell to 6.55% last week, New Mortgage Bankers Association data showed. That marked the biggest weekly decline in 2 years and put the rate at its lowest since May 2023. In response, refinancing applications jumped 16% and mortgage applications ticked up by 0.8%. Mortgage rates are likely to fall even further since everyone expects the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates in September. But the housing market might stay tight because many people who own homes are sitting on much lower rates and might not want to sell. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.